Brand new X-Men movie in theaters, already having a monster haul at the box office, over 300 million, Days of Future Past, and Shawn Ashmore, the proud of Richmond, BC, joining us right now from LA. Shawn, good morning. How much traveling have you done to promote this? Because I was looking at your Twitter feed and it looks like you've been all over the place.
I have been. Mostly North America, but it's been great. I mean, obviously the reaction from the opening week was amazing, and I'm excited that people seem to be loving the film. I'm really proud of it. It's definitely one of my favorites in the series. X-Men 2 was my favorite for a long time, and Days of Future Past is giving it a run for its money, no doubt. You know, the critics are raving about this movie, and there's something really special about this franchise to have its 7th installment still be so successful. What is it for you about the story that's able to resonate with viewers time and time again? Well, I think ultimately the built-in audience for X-Men is pretty important. Obviously, the comic books have been around for decades, so I feel like there are 60-year-old guys and girls that know the characters from reading the comics, as well as kids that just sort of turn on the films and find it that way. And I also think there's this idea of the X-Men being sort of the underdogs, and everyone at some level being able to associate with that. So, and for me, I know as a kid, I grew up reading these comic books and really finding my way into these stories at a young age. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I think that they're interesting stories, especially Days of Future Past. It's an epic storyline, and the stakes are higher than they've ever been. I think that's why people are really reacting to these characters and the storyline itself. We're looking at some of the footage. We're seeing the breakout party for Iceman as well. Your guy, Bryan Singer, a director, back on this one. What makes this man such a blockbuster filmmaker? I think ultimately he's a great storyteller, and I think that what Bryan really focuses on, even amongst all the action, is character. And again, I think that's what makes the X-Men a great franchise, is these amazing characters, and Bryan really knows how to focus on each actor, each character, and make them as interesting as possible. And I think ultimately that's what makes these action scenes so interesting. You know these characters, you love these characters. When characters are put in danger, like in X-Men Days of Future Past, you know them, you care about them. I think there's an emotional stake here that makes it really interesting for an audience. The emotional connection, huge for the audience. You know, we had the chance to talk to Hugh Jackman when Wolverine came out, and Hugh told us a great story about going inside the average theater when the movies come out, going undercover and watching the reaction of the fans. How do you like to watch these types of movies? Do you like the premiere aspect, or just seeing how the average person takes it in? I think the best way to gauge is to see it with a paying audience, an audience that has nothing to do with the business, not friends and family or industry people. And I haven't had a chance to see Days of Future Past like that, although we did do a Q&A after a screening, which was amazing. We got a great reaction. It was kind of nice. But there's something about sitting in the theater and just hearing people react, whether they laugh at the jokes, whether they cheer at a specific moment, an action beat or something like that. That's how you really know if an audience is into a film. So that's kind of a fun way to see a movie. Do you have a favorite fan moment that stands out after everything you've done in the business, especially on the X-Men front? Well, I have to say, one of the best things was I went to go see X-Men 3 in the theater, and the first time that Iceman fully ices up, turns into Iceman, the theater erupted, like cheers, and I thought that was really, really cool. And it was an early screening. It was clearly like a lot of comic book fans and X-Men fans. That was an amazing feeling, because I'd been waiting myself. I grew up reading the comic books, and I was so excited that I finally got to become X-Men, or Iceman, in The Last Stand. So that was a really amazing moment for me. That was pretty cool. Well, you're doing us proud, Shawn. Congrats on the success of the brand new one. Thank you so much. All right, Shawn Ashmore joining us right there from LA.